All right, we're looking at the SL600. Very, very nice little camera we have here today. This is a 12.2 megapixel camera. It's a little bit of an upgrade from the SL60. So the SL50 is this camera. Looks almost identical. If you look at them, they're very similar, but this is a 10 megapixel, this is a 12 megapixel, so you have a slightly better sensor, and it has a couple features for taking portraits that that camera does not have. It only costs a few dollars more, and it's probably worth it if you're on the fence. I would say go ahead and get this version because it does give you the beauty portrait system, or the smart portrait system. Basically integrates a bunch of really cool features like soft skin, basically removes blemishes from your face, face detection, smile timer where it takes a picture when you smile, in-camera red eye removal, digital optical image stabilization. It does all of that stuff, so it's a little bit extra, but those $30 are going to be worth it. Now, the other feature that it has, I kind of already mentioned it, but is the optical stabilization. That camera has a digital image stabilization. This has a optical and a digital, so it's two passes of image stabilization. So taking pictures in a car, while you're running or while you're walking, are going to come out very, very sharp on this camera, even sharper than on that one because of the secondary optical image stabilization. That's how real optical stabilization works, is the lens shifts. So the camera shakes, but the lens stays in the same place because it shifts back and forth. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so I can show you the lens here. It is a 5x optical zoom, so it shares the same lens with the more affordable TL50, but it also shares the same lens with much more expensive cameras that Samsung makes, including some of the TL210 dual view cameras. So this is very, very high quality lens. It's not a cheap lens at all. Very, very sharp. Now, basically, 5x optical zoom, 35mm equivalent to that would be 27 to 135 millimeters, so very versatile, very wide on the wide end to take nice big landscapes and portraits, and then very, very tight, good telephoto, so you can definitely get in close, bring something that's far away into full frame. Now, the maximum aperture on this camera, as you can see down here, is 3.5 at the widest and 5.9 in full telephoto, so that's pretty good for low light. Also, it features an ISO of 1600 is the maximum value, so that is going to help you take some nice low light images. Also on the side, if you want to share the pictures with anybody, you can hook up your little mini HDMI cable to any TV. It'll show video, it'll show images, it'll show sound, so you can share. Also at the bottom here, you do have a standard 1/4 inch by 20 thread for a tripod, and then right here is where your battery and your memory card goes. This thing does take SD or SDHC cards. 2.7 inch 230,000 dot LCD on the back. It's a smart LCD, so it automatically adjusts the brightness and the contrast depending on whether you're indoors or outdoors or in bright sun or a cloudy day. That's very good because a lot of times you look at the back of the screen, it looks dark, and you're like, well, that's no good, and it's actually that you're just in really bright light and you can't see it. So you want to make sure you don't adjust the image that you want it to come out right, so it's important. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the menus and stuff. So I'm going to go, the buttons are very simple: power, shutter release, but right here are your zoom controls. If you want to go in for telephoto or back out to wide, you can right there. You do have a dedicated mode button. The TL50 does not have that dedicated mode button. You actually have to go into menu to go to the modes. And basically right here, you can choose, you can choose between movie, scene, photo help guide, the dual image stabilization, program mode, which kind of lets you control everything, smart auto, and that's basically it. Smart auto kind of picks the scenes for you. Now I want to show you the scenes because they're pretty cool. Beauty shot is that what I was telling you about. It's the smart portrait system. It's going to automatically soften the tones of the skin, make sure that the contrast is perfect for skin tones, make sure that it removes a little bit of the blemishes. So that's very nice. Frame guide helps you actually take pictures. If you don't know how to take a picture, frame guide will actually tell you how to frame the image. Very, very cool. Night, if you have a tripod, you want to set this thing down, it'll decrease the shutter speed to get more light. Portrait, it's the smart portrait system again. Smile shot, it's going to take the shot when it sees a smile. It'll blink detect, so if someone blinks during the photo, it's going to warn you, hey, you need to take the photo again. In-camera red eye fix, face detection, all that's in there. Children is the same thing. Landscape is going to go really wide, and then there's a macro mode for close-ups. Now let's see what other scenes. Movie mode, this thing does do 640 by 480 at 30 frames per second, so that's great for YouTube and for Facebook. And that's basically it as far as modes go. I'm going to go into the menu now. Let me get out of mode, into menu, and you're going to see you kind of have these same types of settings you're going to find in some of the other high-end Samsung cameras. You're not going to find these settings in the other ones. So basically, you can retouch the face, you can do face detection and focus area, you can change the voice, you can adjust facial tones, so you can change, in case the colors were in the background were kind of weird and the face came out red or orange, you can kind of make them come back down to regular facial tones. Sound, you can change all the sounds that are in the camera, so when it turns on or when you take a picture. Also display, you want to make it turn off earlier. You want to disable the smart image part and make it a constant brightness. You can do that as well. And then finally, the settings where you can format your card, change the time, and then also maybe change the order of your photos or the numbering of your orders. And that's basically it. This camera is very, very nice, especially for what you pay for it. If you're on the fence about this and the TL50, I'd definitely go with this one. Just a few bucks more, gives you a lot of great features, and basically has the same lens, the same sensor. It does have a little bit better sensor. It actually, I lied there, I made a mistake. It's 12.2 megapixels, so it is 2 megapixel increase. It's going to give you a 4,000 by 3,000 pixel image, so you can blow it up to, whatever size you want. That can take, you can do a huge print with that, and it'll look very, very sharp. So basically it. If you have any questions on it, feel free to email me, and I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the Samsung SL600 digital camera, type in S203-2968 into any major search engine.